In this episode of the Vacaville View, we're going to check out this year's Kid Fest activities. We're going to see some footage from Mustang Days, of course the Italian Festival, and finally an event that was held at Lagoon Valley, So Mush Fun. So stay tuned.
My name is Larry Smigley. I'm the event director for Mustang Days and More at the Nut Tree Airport, sponsored by the Jimmy Doolittle Air and Space Museum. The idea was envisioned by Terry Duran, who's the current curator for the Jimmy Doolittle Museum out of Travis. I started working with him. He had asked me to come on board to assist in doing vendors and aircraft and whatnot. And back then we called it Mustang Days starting in 2009. With 2013 we changed the name to Mustang Days and More to try to bring in a different eclectic group of aircraft rather than Mustangs. The same thing with the automobiles, different car clubs, Thunderbirds, Ferraris, muscle cars, antiques and classics. All in all, I think probably had about 50 to 60 aircraft out on the ramp for people to take a look at. What we started is about 2009 with Terry Duran and the museum, and then last year both Herm Rowland and Larry Peters sat down with me and said, would you like to take on a bigger role as the director, taking care of the entire event. So I decided to do that so we could bring in more aircraft and make it a lot better for the people to come out and enjoy. Different type of food vendors. The Tuskegee Airmen were here today, the Travis Air Museum, the USS Hornet. Make it really a fun-filled day for the young and old and young kids to see what's going on.
I'm Russ Fisher. I'm on the board of directors for the Jimmy Doolittle Air and Space Museum Education Fund.
And I'm Pete Blood, contract warbird maintenance, called down to help out with the B-25.
The main focus of it is to actually take the aircraft and tour around the local West Coast air shows so that we can raise awareness and do some bomber rides. We're trying to do the rides as well, and that's a fun thing. If you've never been able to ride in a B-25 or had the opportunity, you can have that opportunity, and all the proceeds go to benefit the operation of this aircraft and the future of the Jimmy Doolittle Air and Space Museum. This is exactly that. It's a unique opportunity to ride in a B-25, because unless you had the opportunity to ride in someone who had a privately owned one, then you wouldn't be able to experience this. And that's what it's all about. It's living history, it's experiencing history, and you're able to take a ride in this aircraft.
So basically significance is, you can bring your family or grandkids out You know, and even if your older grandparents have passed away, you can come and see what our military did during that time. You can touch the skin and see how thin it is, look at the engines, see what they're comprised of, and imagine when we show you in comparison to the bullets that both sides were shooting at each other, and this is what they volunteered to go to, you know, for sake of freedom, and there was no protection. They just did the job. So it's kind of cool to have a piece of living history that people can actually come up and touch and, you know, make that relationship to what maybe grandma or grandpa did. You know, both men and women of those times did a lot for our country, and you know, hopefully we can close that gap for some of the family members and see just exactly why they might be why they are now. And with these aircraft, I mean, you get to come out, touch them, feel them. You get to feel the sound when the radio engines are running. You get to smell the oil and the avgas aroma, and then you get to hear them when they take off and fly around the pattern. And then if you close your eyes and imagine when we put up 800 to 1,000 bomber sorties a day with another 500 to 800 fighters escorting them, I mean, it's just unimaginable. So, you know, and that's for the people that are history buffs, and you know, this is a great opportunity to come out and just to try to, you know, get a grasp of what it was like to be back in those times.
The aircraft was it belongs to the Collins Foundation. The Jimmy Doolittle Museum came up with the idea of having the B-25 to promote the new museum that we're trying to build here at Nut Tree. Fred Lewis decided that it was really his idea to bring the airplane down. And so what we're trying to do is operate the airplane after his passing and in his honor. This is his legacy, and with his legacy, it's just like that. We're going to be elbow deep in this thing all the time. Yeah. You know, and it takes a lot to maintain and operate these aircraft. So.
Yeah, you know, and it's true. And when people come by, I mean, they can see what it took. You know, it wasn't just about the pilots and the gunners. I mean, there was ground support and crews and logistics. And this is what, you know, also the nice thing is you can bring people to a nice general aviation airport. They don't, you know, everybody gets wrapped up in the military and the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds and F-16s, F-18s. This is what keeps aviation alive. I mean, kids like jets, but you know, they get to see and touch and feel, and this is where most people get their experience before they go into a military, you know, career or whatnot, or, you know, an airline pilot. You know, you got to support GA, and hopefully with this here and, you know, helping with, you know, Fred's dream, we can just get more young people interested in aviation, because they're our future. What we pass down to them, they'll carry on, and they can pass down from there.
I'm Kelly Nice. I'm a board member for the Jimmy Doolittle Center. Today I think was one of the most successful days we've had. It's our third Mustangs and More. We had the B-25 out here. There were hundreds of people walking around. Chance to tell them all about the new Jimmy Doolittle Center, get them excited about the story, have them take a look at the airplane, and just learn about a piece of history. Right here at this location, and you've got the center of aviation, you know, right here. We're next to Travis. We got a location out of Travis, which is pretty exciting. This is right off Highway 80. Millions of people drive by this location every year. So it's a chance to spread our story out to virtually everyone in California, which is pretty exciting. And then having it right here where you've got Icon Aircraft might be moving here, you've got the college that might be moving here. There's all these really exciting things that are all brewing. So there's a lot of really great things that are starting to gel for the Doolittle Center. And we're right in the center of all. This is the perfect location to be. The mission of the Doolittle Center is really to educate, to foster innovation, and to remind people that the freedom that we have today was paid for by all those guys who went before us and by all those men and women who are coming after us too. So the whole idea of patriotism is what the Doolittle Center is all about. And so building this museum is going to keep that alive. It's going to educate future generations, and it's going to remind the current generation how important those freedoms really are for us all to enjoy. One of the really important things about Jimmy Doolittle in particular is he was a guy who always looked to the future. We're now looking back at Jimmy Doolittle's legacy, but he was a guy who always looked forward. He invented instrument flight. None of us would be here today if it weren't for the Doolittle raid. All of our freedoms stem directly back to Jimmy Doolittle and those 80 guys who pulled off that amazing feat. So this whole idea of not just giving thanks, but remembering how important it is for guys like Jimmy Doolittle with that uniquely American trait that says, I'm going to go do something, I'm going to make something happen, I am going to defend our freedom, you know, not on our shores, but on someone else's shores, so that people who come after me can enjoy the freedom that I have. That's the amazing thing about what we're doing here, is taking that uniquely American trait that Jimmy Doolittle embodied and making sure that we educate and promote that into the next generation so that they carry it forward for all of us.
we are here with Maria.
Mariana Schiavone.
Beautiful. And she is the owner of La Borgata Italian Deli here in downtown Vacaville, and she's one of the main folks behind the Italian Festival. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And what was the inspiration for the Italian Festival? I mean, I've been working here almost 7 years, and that was one question I always had. How come we don't have an Italian festival, being Italian and all?
I guess it took Sandra over and myself to get that going here.
Excellent. So this is the first year, and what are your expectations?
Well, we hope that it gets bigger and bigger each year, and then it becomes an annual event here.
Sure.
Help raise money for the Downtown Association.
And help get people downtown and shop downtown, get to know our fabulous downtown. Exactly. So what do we got on the grill right here anyway?
We have some of our homemade Italian sausage.
Homemade Italian? So you made them down there at the deli?
Yes, we did. And we are serving it over there with some peppers and onions, and along with cannoli, some limoncello cake.
Now those cookies that are over there, are those yours too? Okay, good. I'm glad, because I saw some, they look like little baby pretzels. I've never seen those.
Taralli. Taralli.
Taralli.
Yes.
And
they're like little Italian pretzels. Yeah, they're great to dip in wine or just eat like that. We do sell all of our cold cuts by the pound also. We do have imported mortadella, prosciutto, some cheeses. We have a lot of the molinari, salamis. Make some really good sandwiches.
Now, I grew up in San Francisco, and there was a deli in my neighborhood, Armanino's Italian Deli, and it was great, and my dad would get up at 5 in the morning and get down there so he could get the focaccia, the fresh focaccia. And oh man, I have so many fond memories of having cold cuts and focaccia on Saturdays. It was just a tradition. It was like an Italian thing, right?
Yeah, it is. We do love our stuff.
You sell focaccia?
Well, we sell focaccia. We don't make our own. We get all of our bread from Napa, from Scambria Bakery Napa, and it comes fresh every day anyway.
Great. Well, listen, thank you for putting on this first event, and let's hope it keeps going for years to come, and much success in your business too.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, we're here with Downtown Bob Vollmer to tell us about some of the activities that are taking place here. Bob, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you guys for coming down to the heart of the city.
We wouldn't miss it. This is a great event, but the question that's on the minds of everyone, okay, me, is what took so long to get an Italian festival, darn it?
I don't know. We just had our 7th Oktoberfest, which was a lot of fun, and the Adiego family, the Opera House, and La Borgata Deli and Di Bartolo Jewelers said, why don't we do this? And we said, let's do it. And they picked this weekend. Next year, we're going to be on the Columbus Day weekend. We're moving it forward a weekend to coincide, maybe have a little Columbus Day parade with it too. So we like to have fun down here.
That'll be cool. I'm thrilled being Italian and all, that finally we got an Italian festival. I was at Oktoberfest. That was pretty cool too. And yeah, this is the first year, but pretty good turnout.
It's going great, and we're really looking forward to about 3 o'clock this afternoon. We have a band called Friends of the Family. I met them at the Visa Due Winery at their Italian festival about a month ago, and I said, we got to have these guys. They play every Italian song you'd ever want to hear. They take a little break, and then they come back and play rock and roll in Italian. They're really good.
Oh, cool. So what's your favorite Italian food?
Pizza.
Is it? Really? Pizza? Oh, okay.
That was easy.
Talk about product placement in TV and movies, huh? So we're in the middle of the Italian Fest. What's happening next?
Oh, next. Okay. The Halloween stroll is coming up on October 31st throughout downtown from 4 to 6 o'clock. Right after that, on November 2nd, is the Holiday Craft and Gift Fair happening on the 300 block of Main Street down here. And then Veterans Day program that we do every year on November 11th at 9 o'clock at the Veterans Memorial in Andrews Park.
Well, that's great. Bob, thanks for another great year of activities, and thanks for finally getting us an Italian festival, huh?
Anything for you, my friend. Thanks for coming down.
I appreciate it. I'm sure our residents do too.
Yeah. Thank you.
So we are here at the So Mush Fun run at Lagoon Valley Park, and we're talking to Angelique Miller, who is one of the people who organized this event. Angelique, how's your day going so far?
Oh, it's going great.
Why don't you tell us what's happening out here?
Well, at the moment we have different categories of dog racing teams going around, anywhere from 4 dogs to 1 dog, and they're all being timed, and at the end of the event we'll hand out awards.
And the purposes of this event is to?
Raise funds for North Sled.
And North Sled is?
Northern California Sled Dog Rescue. We rescue all northern breed dogs in Northern California and Reno. And we rehabilitate and find new homes for them. We provide medical care, whatever they need.
Okay, now I'm someone who's looking for a dog. Give me your elevator pitch on why I should adopt one of these animals.
Well, they are very unique in that they're very friendly. They're pack animals. They love to be with you. So if you want a dog that's just going to be outside in the yard, this is not the breed. They're going to be inside with you. They're going to be with you. They give you lots of love. They're characters. They like to talk. I mean, they're just funny.
Well, as I said earlier, I had a husky for many years, our family. That was a great dog. He's a great family dog. He loved us. They love people, you know. They look like wolves, you know, and I think they kind of intimidated people a little bit, but they weren't afraid of anybody or anything, and once you get to know them, vice versa, right? So tell me a little bit about the breed, and you know, you got huskies, malamutes, any other dogs here today?
Well, we do have some mixed breeds. I mean, this event is open to all breeds. We even have, I didn't know if you saw the little bull dogs that were pulling. But the huskies and malamutes, you know, obviously they're bred to pull, and they take to it instantly, and you just have to train them to stay on the track and not get distracted.
Now, why do you think these dogs are in this predicament where obviously someone has them, and then is it just more than they anticipate in terms of, I mean, we did a lot of research before we got our dog. We knew exactly what we were getting into, so there were no surprises. Do you think that's the cause?
That is the problem. People do not do research before they get this breed. They think they're guard dogs. They think they can just leave them in the yard. You cannot. They need lots of exercise. They will jump over a fence if they're bored. They'll dig under a fence. They'll kill cats. They'll kill chickens, even goats.
Right.
I mean, this is not the breed for everybody, and you have to know what you're getting into.
We are with Kathy Sparks, who's one of the founders of North Sled. Kathy, thanks for spending a little time with us today.
Thank you for coming.
So tell us what's going on in your involvement with this organization.
So I've been with North Sled since inception, and what we do is rescue and save Siberian Huskies, Malamutes, and mixes of those breeds. We've been around for about 15 years. Today is one of our biggest events of the year. It's called So Mush Fun, and we have so much fun.
Of course, it goes without saying almost. So how'd you get involved in the rescue of Huskies?
I found a dog at Burger King, and she was a husky, and I didn't know what to do with her, and I met someone that was with North Sled, and that's how it happened.
Okay.
Once you're hooked, you're hooked.
Yeah, but in hindsight, now that you know, now, if you knew then what you know now about Huskies and the breed, would you still help that dog?
Absolutely. They're so much fun. They're very independent thinkers. They're smart. Sledding and karting is a great way to exercise your dogs, and you know, it's a lot of fun.
Now you were out here with your dogs too, running, weren't you?
I did. We ran. I ran 3 dogs. I have a couple of senior citizen dogs that are going to walk, some retired sled dogs, but I'm also helped to coordinate the event too. So this is our biggest fundraiser of the year.
But once you have one of these dogs, it's just about the best thing ever, isn't it?
Absolutely. Once you have one, they're like a potato chip. You can't just stop at one. You need more than one.
So this is your big event. You're going to do it next year, I hope?
Absolutely.
And
Each year we get a little bit better. So.
And we got a pretty good crowd here and a lot of dogs too, so that's good. That's encouraging.
Right, and if Angelique didn't tell you, we placed last year over 250 dogs.
Wow,
So that's a lot for our little rescue group. So
And if somebody wanted to adopt one of these dogs, who should they contact?
they can go to our website, and we've got an email address and we've got a phone number up there. So
Great. Well, terrific. Thank you very much. Appreciate you coming out here. And well, that's it for this episode of the Vacaville View. Hope you enjoyed the show. Remember, if you have any questions about the Vacaville View or the city of Vacaville, give me a call at 449-5371 or email me at channel26@cityofvacaville.com. Thanks for watching.